Yo, shout out to the Most High. It's always a high see movement on lower state. It's L-Deez for another episode of I Need to Know. And my special guest, introduce yourself, G.
Zimbabwe Davies, film producer, philanthropist, and motivational speaker, and certified community coach.
I said introduce yourself, G. Your name is Zimbabwe. I should have said introduce yourself, Z. Is that your birth name?
Yes.
Okay.
My mother, she wanted me to have a name with significance. And before the country was named Zimbabwe, it was named Rhodesia. And the Africans gained independence of the country. And Robert Mugabe, who was the prime minister, who became the president later, in 1980, he became the prime minister, and I was born in 1981.
Okay.
And that's when Zimbabwe came into effect.
Damn, so you a prime minister. So you said that you do film.
Yes, I'm a film producer. I write documentaries. Yeah, that's what I do.
Talk about one of your documentaries.
So the first documentary I wrote and produced is called Enter a Challenger, Exit a Champion. And it's about my upbringing in West Oakland with my family, my older brother, 2 sisters, my mother and father, and my turning point when my mother passed away when I turned 13 from kidney failure. And I entered the foster care system, and I had moved from West Oakland to Reno. Me and my older brother had moved to Reno, and my 2 sisters stayed with my father. And I went through the ringer. Lost my confidence, had low self-esteem. I was placed in special education because I couldn't focus on, my schoolwork because I'm thinking about my mother dying and the trauma from that. And so, by the grace of God and the universe and institutes and people like Mr. Fab, he pretty much saved my life. I initially was visiting for spring break, back in Oakland, and I was kicking it with him, and I started telling him what I was going through. My auntie, who I was staying with in Reno, she was abusing drugs. And so I was like telling them like, yeah, I haven't been going to school like consistently. I was working at McDonald's at the time because I was 14 and you could work, with a worker permit. And so I was pretty much grabbing hella burgers before I, my shift ended. And so I was like taking care of myself. And so Fab was like,
You was the burglar. You was the hamburger.
I was fat, like a hamburger though. But to survive though,
yeah,
you feel me? And so, Fab was like, man, like I'm gonna talk to my mom and see if you could stay down here, man, and we'll get you right. And so he talked to Mama Des.
That's right. Shout out to Mama Des.
She gave me that green light, and I got all my school, transferred, everything got transferred, and then I was introduced to a program called ILSP. It's currently called ILP, and I work for this organization. Now, this is an organization that
what is it called?
ILSP.
Is that Independent Living?
Yes, Independent Living Skills Program.
Okay, yeah.
But they changed it to ILP, Independent Living Program.
Can I just ask you one question?
Yes.
You know when you worked in Reno, right?
Yes.
I mean, lived in Reno, and you got your school transferred? Mm-hmm. Did you get your job transferred?
I didn't know. You know what happened was I ended up working at Burger King.
Oh, traitor! I
went from McDonald's to Burger King.
You know, say something. Walk the plank, you traitor!
Hey. Hey, had to get it how I lived, though, man. And I was so glad that I had that early on experience working at McDonald's at 14. So, like, 15, I wasn't working, but my junior year when I turned 16, I applied for Burger King and I had that experience.
Yeah.
And so I worked at Burger King.
Okay.
But this time I was, getting taken care of. So
okay, so you wasn't hitting their ass up.
Nah.
They didn't want no beef.
They didn't want no beef. You feel me?
So talk about the matter of fact, slow down, L. Finish the documentary. Tell me about the first documentary, like how it went though.
So initially, I was supposed to work on a project with this young lady, and she ended up flaking. And so what happened was I called my mentor, who lives in Atlanta, and I was just calling him to vent. And he was like, man, I filmed a documentary before. Like, send me the script. In documentary, it's treatments that you do that's equivalent to a script. And so I sent him the treatment, and he was like, man, I love the story, man. I'm going to fly out to Oakland, and we're going to start filming. Yeah. And so we went back to my neighborhood on 28th and MLK and in West Oakland, Ghost Town. And
yeah,
that was the first day of filming. And from there, it was just like every day he's filming, and the thing I love about films in general is that you get a chance, everybody, the audience gets a chance to sit with the characters, the themes of the film. And so they got a chance to see me, my struggles. They got to see the influences in my life. My father, rest in peace to my father, Joe Russell. He passed away last year on Halloween. He was definitely a prominent figure in my life and a big influence. And you know, Mr. Fab and my mentors and the program ILSP, they helped me get to where I'm at today. I wouldn't be sitting here without none of these people, right? And so I wanted to show that foster youth and just people in general, that when you have challenges and adversities and roadblocks, like, you can overcome them. And there's people in place, there's people in the universe that's gonna come your way, there's institutes, and it's just really about you having an openness and willingness to try something new. Because you gotta think, I went from being in special education, having low self-esteem, not articulating myself, not being able to verbalize what I wanted in life, to now sitting on this podcast with you. And I want to give you a big shout out for having this platform for artists and people in general, you know, who are doing impactful work and doing work that motivates and influences people.
You know what? Thank you. And I want to give a special shout out to the Most High and Steve. You know, Steve.
Shout out to Steve. Shout out, bro.
He like Dr. Claude, you know what I'm saying? People never see his face, but they only see that arm.
Inspector Gadget.
So this is what I want to know. Do you have a college degree?
Yes, I graduated. I went to Brooks College School of Fashion Design and Merchandising in Long Beach, and I obtained my AA degree. It's funny because let me tell you the backstory behind before I got there. So when I was in the 10th grade, when I moved back down to Oakland, me and Mr. Fab had formed a crew called the Fab Four. So it was me, him, my boy Theo, and Zoe. And so we was like known for having the chicks, being the best dressed, being in all the parties and all the stuff. And so, you know, by the time my senior year came and colleges was, you know, coming to our school, it was like that school was the perfect school to come to Emory High. That's where I went to Emory High. So Brooks College came to Emory High, and I was like, well, damn, I want to go to fashion school so I could put my partners on. I could do fashion shows. And so I majored in fashion merchandising, and that consisted of producing fashion shows. And then I went there from 1999 to 2001. And when I moved back from Long Beach to Oakland, I was trying to figure out how I wanted to start getting into the fashion industry. And so the program, ILSP, I had a conversation with my mentor, Mr. J, and he was like, I was like, man, how do I go about doing a fashion show? Like, can you help me? And he was like, how about you do a fashion show fundraiser? That way you get your name out there, and then we help raise money for foster youth housing and school needs. And so I wrote up the whole, you know, the fashion show script, the production. I did the music, the scenes, choreography, chose the models. The models were foster youth, promoted it, and we did it at this the oak tree in Jack London Square. Yeah, you know, they kept remixing the name. Yeah. And so, anyways, so that show was very successful. We raised about $3,500 for foster youth housing and school needs. And so I was like, my name started getting big. I started collaborating with other designers. And from there, the next year, we did another show. And at that point, I was on KBLX. I was in the Oakland Tribune. So this
shit is dope. You know this is dope.
Man, thank you, man. Thank you. It's been one hell of a journey, man. And so, yeah.
You know what I'm about to ask, though?
What?
With some of that money, did you pay back them burgers?
Hey, no, look. I'm paying back the community now. Yeah. I also want to let you know I have a movement called Building Bridges. It's a movement I started in 2017 where we have the community versus OPD in basketball. And we also have the difficult conversations. And so the reason why I started that was because, of course, as a black man, I got tired of seeing black people being murdered by police. But I had to check myself. Like, you know, it got to a point where I was like, man, I'm tired of this happening. And a voice came into my head like, well, what are you doing about it?
Yeah.
And so from there, I was like, okay, I got some influence. Let me write some stuff up. I'm pretty creative. And from there, I went to Eastmont Police Station and I spoke with Deputy Chief LaRon Armstrong, and I ran the idea past him. And he said, we already got a basketball team. He said, you get the venue and you set it up, we there.
Yeah.
And so from there, I connected with Sam Moses from Soldier Town, and my partner in crime, Yanine Jackson. She plays basketball. She went to Tech, won 2 state championships, and I'm a football guy. I'm not well versed in hoop.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to incorporate women as well within the basketball. And so we started it 2018, and that's, yeah.
So is it an annual game where y'all play against the police?
Yes, it's an annual game. The first year, we lost by like 4 points. We lost both years. So we got to get some more squad. And in addition to the basketball game, we have a backpack giveaway for the kids. We have a juice bar to promote health. And we have face painting for the kids within the basketball game, too. So we have, like, 2 basketball games. We have the youth team, and then we have the adult team as well. And so I wanted to make it to where it was inclusive for everyone and nobody was left out.
Gotcha.
Right.
And you coming up with all this mastermind and you just putting it together.
Yeah, man. But, I mean, God gave me a gift, man. I wholeheartely believe that when God put something in your spirit and your mind, like, you got to go with it. I only got this one lifetime to do it. When I close my eyes for the final time, it's not like a video game. You can't start over. You know what I'm saying? And so I got to take advantage of my time. I have to utilize the skills, the tools, everything that I learned, and just apply it. It's about applying application.
Well, you know what? You seem like the type of person that pain and adversity actually makes you stronger. So I'm going to ask you something. If you could start over knowing everything that you knew now and it had to go just like it would you change anything?
No, I wouldn't change it. I mean, and here's the thing is that when you're going through these challenges, at the time, you don't, like, I couldn't understand, like, why am I going through this? Why am I going through this? But as I got older, I just paid attention to the signs of the universe. I'm like, okay, this person's in my life for a reason. Okay, these people are helping me for a reason. So it's something that I have to do for myself.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? It's only so much support that you can get before you tell yourself, I got to step out on my own and make something happen.
Yeah. For sure. And you said you had more than one documentary, right?
Yes.
Or what is the other one called?
So the other one is called Different Stories, and it's a follow-up with 3 former foster youth. And it's just about their journey in the foster care system and how they're thriving now and how they're doing successful. And the thing that I want to stress is that I think a lot of people, when they hear about the foster care system, they think it's a charity case. And it's like the woe is me story.
Well, you know what? You know what? I was just going to ask you that and you read my mind. What is the biggest myth about foster care? Is that it?
That's the myth. That's it right there. Is that it's a charity case, and foster youth are strong and resilient. And even for me, all I needed was the opportunity. All I needed was the platform. And I was able to do the rest. And so it's just for me now. It's like I get to give people those opportunities, like I was given those opportunities.
Yeah. Dope. And do you have children?
No children right now.
Okay.
I do plan on having some children. I definitely do.
Talk about some of the people that you actually met in foster care that had these crazy stories. You're like, damn, I really got to count my blessings.
I don't want to say no names or put nobody on McGlass. But I mean, it's just so many different stories. Like everybody's challenges are different. It's just different. Every young person has a different challenge, but a lot of us overcome those hurdles. Yeah, we have a support system to support one another.
Can I just ask you a controversial question about foster care? Do you think that people should be able to, how do you feel about same-sex couples adopting kids? How do you feel about that?
I feel like that's fine. I feel like, it's based on love.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, everybody in this room was birthed on love. You understand what I'm saying? And so, we gotta do better at not being judgmental and just looking at people's intentions. And we know that people have love in their heart, and that should happen.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
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 So you said that you also do filming too, like videos and stuff?
Yeah, well, I have a videographer, and like I just pretty much write, come up with the concepts, and we get to filming. And I'm also featured in this documentary called The Unspoken. And I'm not sure when it's gonna drop. Shout out to my boy Kept Baddies. He's incredible, and it's about the climate of America. It's about Black Lives Matter. It's about racism and what we need to do is a country to shift the paradigm.
You know what? When I think of America, right, and I know that like racism, like this country was founded on racism. You know, we know that slavery, Native Americans raped, pillaged,
Right.
this, that. How many years do you really think that it would actually take for America to be the ideal place that you think with all that bloodshed that has already happened?
I'm not gonna be here to see it,
Okay.
but I'm definitely gonna put my mark on the earth to help change it. And then the other question is like, what is the ideal America?
That's why I say your ideal America.
Yeah, what is? I mean, it's peace.
Yeah.
It's peace. You know what I'm saying? As crazy as that may sound to some people, like that's not realistic. And we need a balance. There's a balance in life. You laugh, you cry. But initially, I want peace.
Were you in a state of appall when those people rushed the Capitol?
I wasn't. And my thoughts on that was I knew something like that would happen because there's so many signs that's leading up to it. And the only reason everyone's being reprimanded is because now they right next to the politicians. You know what I'm saying? It's never a problem when it's in the hood, when it's in West Oakland, when it's in East Oakland, when it's in Baltimore, when it's in Detroit. But as soon as it hit the Capitol, it's a problem.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, now they got to look in the mirror. They can't be in denial. And the part that I was appalled about was the hearing that happened after they had a recess, a break or whatever, and then they had the hearing over Trump's votes. And I'm like, y'all should be thinking about the safety of the Capitol now. It's been compromised.
Yeah.
Why are we having this conversation about the votes with Trump?
Yeah.
How?
Because I could never break into somebody's house.
No, me
They
either.
broke into the White House.
Right.
The whitest house.
Right.
That's federal property.
Right.
Taking pictures, selfies with their feet all up on the table.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even take a piss in that motherfucker and leave a drop of piss on the toilet seat without getting reprimanded in that motherfucker.
Straight up. But like I said, it's been so many signs that they've been doing this for years, and it's just if you feel comfortable doing something, if someone feels comfortable doing something and they don't get stopped, they're going to continue to inch closer.
Yeah.
Right? That's like a little baby, right? If a baby's finna walk towards something hot and you're not telling them, and they're gonna just keep inching over. They're gonna keep inching over. They're gonna keep inching until you do like stop.
Yeah. Yep.
Then they're gonna pay attention, like, oh, okay, I'm doing something wrong.
Yep. Well, you know what I said? I said, have you ever been in Walmart, right? And have you ever seen like a little white kid scream at their parents because they couldn't get something?
Oh, of course.
Well, those were those kids from Walmart. They're just grown now.
Facts. And me and you wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
We wouldn't exist if we did the same thing.
Definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
This would be a whole nother podcast, whole nother host.
Yeah.
Whole nother guest. You feel me?
It's funny though because like I went to an all-white school for about 6 months. Okay. I mean,
Where'd you go?
Hillmore High. It's by Turlock.
Okay.
I went to go see my sister's dad for a semester. See how that was or something like that because we close. We come from one of them black families. He got a new wife and everything. You notice I said my sister's dad.
Right.
But that's pops and shit like that. But the school was I went to school with cowboys and cowgirls. Like in the middle of California, right? Where you smell all that dairy and cows. Mm-hmm. Those are owned by Portuguese people.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. The gallows and shit like that, that's where they from. All those kids that I went to school with were rich, but it was this one guy the year before I got there. The school was so racist. Guess what he thought it was okay to come to school on Halloween dressed up at?
What?
KKK.
Oh yeah. Comfortable.
Yeah. And I went there during the OJ trial. So you know how that was going to school. You know
tension.
Well, I mean, it was just, it wasn't all of them. And you know what? It wasn't all of them, but it's always the elephant in the room when you're the only person in the room that's probably looked at as the elephant.
Facts.
And shit like that.
Right.
And you said that you did filming. Do you do movies too, or just documentaries?
Well, documentaries now. I'm definitely gonna get into some feature films. I've been doing a lot of writing, and so I definitely plan on doing some feature films. I want to do romantic films, love. I want to do some thrillers. I want to do action. I want to do it all, man. And I want to make it big. I want to leave my mark when I do film.
Okay, well, you know what I'm saying? Thanks for coming through. This was a short interview, you know what I'm saying? Because we got another person coming through, an artist. I don't know who it is, but check this out, though. I got to ask you the question before we go.
What's the question?
What are your favorite 3 Eddie Murphy movies?
Ooh, okay. We got to go with Raw.
Okay.
That's one. Vampire in Brooklyn. That's one of the ones. How does this nigga, man? Oh, Coming to America, of course.
Okay.
You can't leave that one out. I mean, I just have a different preference, but you can't. If I didn't say Coming to America, that should be a problem.
You're right. Now, this is what I want to know. If you had to rank these 3 movies, which one from 1, 2, 3 is the funniest? Friday, House Party, and Coming to America.
Ooh, Coming to America, Friday, House Party.
Just like that?
Just like that.
Just like that?
Just like that.
Now, what is your favorite movie? No, this is the last question. I love doing this. My bad. I love this favorite shit. I am so sorry. Check this out. If you had to spend your money on a double DVD, would you buy Belly with Do the Right Thing, or would you buy Menace to Society with Boys in the Hood?
Oh, Menace to Society and Boys in the Hood.
You ain't never even seen Menace. What was Jada Pinkett's name in Menace then?
Hold on. You got me stumped right there.
Then I win. Tell everybody where they can find you at.
You can check me out at www.zdaviesfilms, ZDAVIES and my Instagram is the same, ZDaviesFilms, and Twitter is ZDaviesFilms.
I got to ask you a question. Are you really busy with your filming and stuff?
Yeah. I'm actually working on...
you got any time to help us out a little bit around here?
Of course.
He said it. We got another one.
You're right. I mean, I got to. You know what I'm going to do? Say no, and then not be able to be on I Need to Know anymore?
No, you could definitely pull up, but I'm going to tell you, sometimes people be busy. Right. Because in this line of work that I actually do... Right. Because you know me, I make music, I do this, I do that, and stuff like that. This is a platform where I'm actually building my podcast, but it's a different relationship when I'm dealing with other people.
Right. Oh, I was gonna tell you not to cut you off, Ronnie. That was her name. Ronnie.
Damn, I should have.
You lost.
I lost. Fucking with you. Fucking with you.
Ronnie.
Fucking
Ronnie's
with you.
bad.
She is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still is.
Facts.
Yeah. Entanglement. Hey, so I am L-Deez for another episode of I Need to Know with my special guest, Zimbabwe. And as usual, come on, you know what I want.